Hello, welcome back. If this is your first time watching my channel, please note these are not traditionally the way I do a video, for especially a sales video. Traditionally, I go through item by item and tell you what sold, and then we have a topic of the day, and then we come back around and kind of sum things up. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. What I'm going to do is go over kind of why I honestly believe sales are down, and really magically there's not going to be any way back. We're going to get sales back. And I'm just going to be honest with you and transparent with you on why those things are. And what it will be, just while I'm talking, the sold items that I have will pop up in the background from time to time, just randomly. I've had a good sales weekend. I'm happy with my sales. Traditionally, when you have a weekend, a holiday weekend, your sales are going to slump. Let me let you in on something already. The weekend of July 4th coming up here, your sales are probably going to be down, okay? That's not a glitch. That's not nothing wrong with eBay or Poshmark or Macari or anything like that. It's just a part of what's going on. So first of all, you see the thumbnail and you talk about the most political video on eBay. And it may not be. I don't know. I've not watched every political on eBay. And I figure most resellers don't want to talk politics. And hey, it's part of the equation, guys. But what I want to really go over is why things were so good for a while and why they're not so good for today. So first of all, I want to start off with the fact I started reselling heavy and around 2017, early 2017. I've been on eBay since 1999 reselling, so I have sold all kinds of times. I've sold all kinds of stuff, coupons, video games, all kinds of stuff prior to 2017. I sold all kinds of stuff, but I wasn't fully devoted. 2017 came about. I was a month off of work. I started watching a bunch of videos, and I got into it. And I can tell you back then the competition was not nearly like it is. But that's going to come at the conclusion where I come from. But first of all, I want to say when 2020 hit and, the pandemic hit, on March 27th, 2020, Donald Trump signed a bill putting $2 trillion into pumping it right straight into the economy. Okay, that money, was in a form of a check. A lot of people got the $600 check. A lot of people got, they had their unemployment, plus they had an additional $600 a week from the government, which was a return of their tax money. It's their tax money. I'm not going to get into all that. I'm talking about while money was coming in. You take myself, I'm going to give you an example of myself. In May 2020, I had around $6,000, a little bit over $6,000 in sales on eBay. I didn't nearly have the items I have today. I have almost 1,200 items listed up on eBay right now. I didn't probably have 700 probably at that point. If I've been doing videos, you'd seen half less this. I didn't even have the big rack at that point. I had a smaller rack that was a piece of junk at that point. But what it was, I sold $6,000 on eBay. I sold a ton on Marketplace. See, where I was at Virginia Tech over here, I'm in Blacksburg, Virginia. Most college people had to leave their dorms. They had to clean all that out. There was tons of stuff getting thrown away. So literally what I would do in Marketplace, I literally done this multiple times. I'd move the item away from the dumpster, take pictures, put it on Marketplace, meet somebody at the mall that was near me, and sell it. And I can't tell you how much money I made that way. So I had eBay money, I had Marketplace money, I had unemployment, I had extra unemployment where I work. We have a thing where we're laid off. We have what we call subpay, which is an additional payment. May 2020 was incredible money coming into my household for 1 month. And thank goodness I'm a little bit older and wiser with my money. I don't just shove it back out, as quick as I can get rid of it. But that was an injection. That $2 trillion was a huge injection. Well, fast forward, we had another injection. Donald Trump signed into law on December 27, 2020. He signed an additional $2.3 trillion in COVID relief fund. That was to continue to help mainly businesses and stuff, keep them going, keep the small businesses going. But all that money circled back around into the economy. And that's why you continue to see sales boom. Thing about it was, more and more resellers were coming into the business. More and more resellers were coming to the business. And the thing about it was, hey, eBay was booming. The Poshmarks, the Macaris, they were all doing well. The thing about it was, you didn't hear the word cross posting at that point. Yeah, there was a mention of it here, there, and yonder, but not like it is today. Liz Perfectly wasn't pumping and supporting everybody to the point where that's where all the money was going, and cross posting. Which, let me let you in on something. If you were only a Macari seller or only a Poshmark seller, you're probably feeling the effects of all these eBay sellers or all these others coming into your platform and selling. It's just part of it. It's just part of the economy. The whole idea, when I day one got into this stuff, once I started listening to the videos, I heard not only did I hear one thing preached of course, making passive income. It's revenue streaming. It's the ability to have multiple incomes come into your household. And, but that wasn't the stop. In December, that wasn't the only money that came in to the economy. We had Joe Biden become president. So Joe Biden, one of his biggest promises when he was on the election running for president, that he was going to put, a $2,000 check. Now, the way he saw it is that, we'd already had $600 from Trump, so we would have another $1,400 under his administration. So in March 11th, 2021, Biden signed another $1.9 trillion in the form of refunds to everyone. Now, if you do the math, that's a little over $6 trillion that was put into the economy in less than a year. Now, that's a lot of stinking money. Okay, and here's the reason why we're not seeing sales just still crazy and bing, bing, bing the phone. It's not glitches on eBay. Every platform is down right now. And there's multiple reasons why. The $6 trillion isn't coming in. There wasn't $6 trillion pumped into the economy between March 21 and March 22. There wasn't $6 trillion pumped into the economy from March 22 to March 23. What things are doing is they're trying to get back to the old way. They're trying to get back to our original levels. And we're seeing that. It's, and people are coming out. I've read story after story online of people that in their homes, they were in their homes for 2 years. There's a lot of movie stars and celebrities. I've read all kinds of the older celebrities. They were inside their home for a couple years. They didn't get out. You're just starting to see people now start to get out and spend money. A lot of these concerts are full and stuff like that. There's more people on concert, more people on tour than I have ever seen. And I think it's because they know that there's a want to get out there and be, out there. These roads are getting traveled, And another thing that hurt us, let's just be honest, is inflation hurt us. Now, the inflation was worldwide. Not just in our country, it was inflation worldwide. Now, I will be throughout this video. You've already seen. I'm going to show certain stats and stuff like that. Amazon sales, they're down, okay? eBay sales, they're down. And what's happening is people are going back out and they're buying in the brick and mortar stores. Now, here's the problem, though. The brick and mortar stores, how they man their stores, and stuff are based on the year before and the year before that. Those are dangerous territories. I once worked for Lowe's for a little while. I mean, when I worked for Volvo, but I've worked for Volvo for 26 years. But in that time, we have layoffs and stuff like that that goes on. So anyway, I worked at Lowe's for a while. Let me tell you what happened at, say, Lowe's. Okay, there I was there during the time of springtime and when their sales are booming. Okay, but let's say something happens like rain, like a really cold day. Guess what happens to their sales on a really cold, rainy day? They go way down. Guess what? There's no glitch going on. It's just a rainy, cold day, and their sales are suffering those days. But guess what happens the next year? The next year, they plan their manpower based on what happened that day. Well, the next year, it could be 80 degrees and sunny. Well, everybody, their grandmother, their uncle, they're there to buy. And they're there to plant. And they're wanting to do all that. So they're caught in they're caught in a trap. I also worked at Wendy's a little bit one time. This was even before I worked at Baba one time. Wendy's kind of had the same premise even back in the 90s. Here's the thing that was bad. Okay, they were near a major high school. Okay, one year they have an away game against a major team. Okay, that year their sales would be way down. The next year, that team would be at home coming to their Wendy's. All these people would come to their Wendy's and be buying. Their manpower was way down because the sales before the year had been all went to the other school. So their planning was poor, really. You can't just all go on based on April 24th, 2022, we sold $100,000. You can't just go off your manpower for that, but that's what they did. So what I'm saying with all that mess is you can't go off of last year's numbers for this year's numbers, okay? Of course, most of you are way down from your last year's numbers because there's more competition, there's less buyers, and there's just not as much money being pumped around the system. And the ones that are left around, I watch some of the videos. I watch this guy talk about the fact he wants to up his store to 80,000 items by 2024. I watched this guy talk the other day about wanting to up his store to 100,000 items. Now, that may not affect you traditionally because you're not in those different areas and categories that maybe them two resellers that I just mentioned. But that will affect us all. There's only so much money to go around, folks. And there's only so much disposable income that's going around. And right now, I truly believe there's only two people that's buying on eBay. They're always buy for necessity. People will always buy for necessity. And the second is always for memories. But those people that are buying for memory's sake are people that have deep pockets, or it's their once a month splurge. It's, I've got to have this action figure. I've got to have this video game. And they're just splurging once a month. They're not getting that nice little weekly extra check that's coming in that, due to this COVID relief funds. And they're not being able to pump it out there. They can get their once a month, nice little thing, but they can't continue to pump it out. So what's going to have to happen to fix things, honestly, is there's going to have to be and then we're starting to see it a little bit, but there's going to have to be a major leave of resellers from the platform. And what's going to happen, I see it now. People are saying, I'm going back to work. I picked up a Uber, a DoorDash, or whatever. And they're still reselling, but they're not full-time. That's why a lot of your resellers are sponsored. They look like a NASCAR salesman now because they just aren't making the sales they were making 2 years ago. It's just part of the business. I hope that in my conversation today that I haven't stepped on your toes as far as what party you vote for, Vote for anybody you want to coming up. The only thing I want you to vote for is your favorite reseller for 2024. And I hope I'm your favorite reseller for 2024 as far as on the YouTube channel. And if I am your favorite reseller, do me a favor. Give me a like. And second of all, put in the comments what you think is going to happen with the future of reselling. And please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate the growth of the channel, but we could use always more. Like I said in the background, we've covered the what solds today. I hope that you've been able to capture those as I was talking. Hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. I appreciate all the sacrifices made by the soldiers and their families. Take care.